Welcome back to the channel, Warhammer Man back in the studio, and today we're going to take a look at a couple of new releases, or some previews, so to speak. If you're new to the channel, make sure to like and subscribe for daily Warhammer related content. So Black Lightning strikes as Eternus, Blade of the First Prince, storms into battle. A grim dirge backs a martial drumbeat as the slaves to darkness march from the 8 points to reave the mortal realms in the name of the ever-chosen. However, not all of these armor-clad warriors are loyal to the three-eyed king. Some serve a more subtle master. Descending from the sky in a bolt of black lightning is Eternus, Blade of the First Prince. Alright, so it's like a total chaos, fully armored knight on a some sort of crazy horse beast, again fully armored. That's a nice looking model. It's a really nice looking paint job too. The aesthetic of this thing is outstanding. It's got a pretty awesome looking halberd weapon, nice paint job on that, and then obviously this horse demon creature is pretty awesome as well. Super intricate armor, very dynamic pose. And then you get like the actual feel of a rider on top, holding on to the chains. Yeah, really, really nice looking model. I like this. See, when I see models like this, and this excites me, and it's evil, I'm obviously not much for chaos. It's not that I don't like it or anything. I've just always preferred, the good side of things when it comes to my war games. So the idea of not having knights, like good knights, human knights in fantasy just blows my mind. I feel like that's something that people can relate to just slightly more and enjoy. It's also something like from the past. Makes it even cooler. Just very strange. Very, very strange that they don't have, the Bretonnians, the Empire, all that stuff. Now, I understand, obviously, with the lore or whatever, but they've retconned so much stuff over the days. Might as well just retcon in some Bretonnians but really nice looking model. Really, really nice. I definitely like it. This would be a pleasure to paint. The Blade of the First Prince was once of Archon's Vanguard, a champion of the 8th Circle known as Adorus. When he renounced Archon as the feet of the Dark Master, he was thrust into a lightning-racked cursed skies that swirl with the souls of slain Stormcast Eternals, unable to return to Azure. There has been burned alive by the divine lightning, only to be revived by Be'lakor, who breathed those trapped souls into him. Reborn as Eternus, this warrior pays for his immortality with undying fealty to Be'lakor. Yet this gift may be plucked from the so-called Lord of Traitors just as quickly as it was conferred. So Eternus wages a desperate campaign to keep his master satisfied, using spies and covert agents to further Be'lakor's plans to usurp Archon as the exalted Grand Marshal of the Apocalypse. Bum bum bum. Yeah, that's super cool. I definitely like it. The armor on like the horse beast thing is pretty awesome. Really like the halberd weapon. And then his little standard on his back is pretty cool as well. All the details, just real nice. Those not turned by his unnatural, persuasive words are put to death in battle, atop the mighty Dracocephalus, clad in armor stripped of the colors of Ever-Chosen, and armed with the Deathglaive and Skull Flail. The Blade of the First Prince crushes any who may oppose the will of his dark master. If by some turn of fate Eternus is slain, he is reborn in the foul storm, shroud in Be'lakor's cursed skies, before returning in the blast of obsidian energy, his crackling veins of black lightning, a cruel parody of the Heldenhammer's chosen warriors. So Eternus, Black of the First Prince. Veins of black lightning. At the end of your movement phase, if this unit has been slain, roll 2d6 and add 1 to the roll if Be'lakor is in your army and on the battlefield. On an 8+, you can set this unit anywhere on the battlefield more than 9 inches from all enemy units, with all wounds allocated to it removed. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. Definitely fits the lore. Great looking model right there. Not sure how good he'll actually be, but coming back from the dead is always strong. So it said in the lore or in that little description, the flail. So is this actually a flail right here? It looked like he was holding like the reins to the horse beast thing. But I think maybe there's a flail going on there. I can't quite make it out in these pictures. So maybe we'll see some more pictures. But overall, really nice like a model right there. And just to keep it, chaos focused. And if you're a chaos player out there for fantasy or 40K or whatever, let me know in the comments. Chime in what game you play or what army you play or whatever. I mean, this has got to be a great year for you guys. We've gotten like tons of updates in 40K and Sigmar. A new World Eaters Codex coming in 40K as well. Tons and tons of models. I mean, just so many great releases. Must be nice to be in the limelight for a little bit. So get a first look at a brand new World Eaters parts. So it looks like some bits from the new World Eaters stuff coming out here. After our first glimpse of a next generation Khorne Berserker in August, last week's Warhammer preview online unveiled the full squad in all their glory. These ferocious troops are packed with all the World Eaters stylings we know and love, and the Blood Gods champions are taking things a step further. It's time to take a sneak peek at some truly brutal pieces of this and a few of the other upcoming World Eaters kits to see what makes these particular devotees of Khorne unique. So pretty cool. I'm not sure if this is the actual front part of this backpack and it swaps out, but pretty nice overall. Skulls are a much loved motif in the 41st millennium, but the World Eaters are the original cranium collectors. Khorne and skulls go together like orcs and green, and the Blood Gods followers build their bony trophies into armor plates and hang them from brazen icons. It's a grim fashion statement that nearly straddles the fine line between tasteful and terrifying. 10,000 years of exposure to the warp will leave its mark on anyone, and horns, claws, teeth burst out of armor plates as the World Eaters' attire twists to suit their bestial nature. These parts are clearly meant for vicious close combat machines, and mark particularly savage fighters as people to avoid, as if the massive chain blade wasn't enough of a warning. So these are some bits right here. Pretty cool overall. I wonder what that chain blade is for. And that head as well. These sort of remind me of Obliterator bits, to tell you the truth. What exactly is that? You'll have to stay tuned to find out. The Legion's gladiatorial roots show up in small details all over the new models, from belt straps and broken chainmail to leather wrappings on their signature chain axes. The axes themselves are adorned with classic coronate motifs, skulls, spikes, and lots of brass trim. So yeah, these look like they go on the Obliterators. I did not pick up the new codex, and I really haven't even looked into it much lately, to tell you the truth. So I honestly don't know. I would have to get a little more up to date on that. I've definitely been slacking. I've just been really busy lately. But these look like pieces from the Obliterator kit, like similar in style and everything. Obviously, the Obliterator was like an easy build kit. It's not crazy to think that we'd be getting an Obliterator kit in the future, and possibly these would be like some Khornate looking upgrades, either in the kit or sold separately. I don't know. But that reminds me of an Obliterator head. There was the other things too. I want to call them Mortifiers, but I don't think that's the right name. That's the Sisters one. But they had like the close combat version of them as well. So I wonder if this would be something more up that kind of line. So let me know if in the book, obviously Obliterators are still in there. Let me know if there's still the combat version of them as well. They used to have a model in 40K that was available. It's pretty old and looked terrible. But I think they're still around. I'm not sure if they got dropped somewhere along the way from the codex or ended up in Legends. So here we have some pretty cool chain axes. This one is a double-handed chain axe, single-handed one. Really nice details on these, super crisp. Obviously like 3D rendering. Yeah, these are nice. Looks good. We saw some of the cool style shoulder pads recently as well. I really like these. They remind me of like the old school stuff. Obviously, this one definitely like the symbol detail and everything. Looks really good. World Eaters often strip away parts of their armor to give the chopping arms greater freedom of movement, replacing their classic pauldrons with small angular plates reminiscent of the cataphracti pattern Terminator armor. Yeah, and that's exactly what it reminds me of. Cataphracti Terminators, or like even Custodes, which is probably based off of that same armor style, but definitely reminds me of those. These are awesome. Definitely looking forward to all the sweet, sweet new up-to-date bits. One of the most recognizable parts of the Khorne Space Marines is their incredible taste in headwear, and the great sweeping veins return, with more detail and sharper points than ever before. If feeling the wind in your hair as your charge is more of your thing, you'll also have the wide selection of bear heads, some with horrifying fanged rebreather masks designed to reflect Khorne's affinity for hounds. Okay, so there's like 2 down here with the rebreathers, with like the fangs on them. Pretty awesome. The bear heads look good, definitely very chaotic. And then obviously this is like the super eccentric leader head. And then you have 4 pretty nice different styles, but all look good. This one looks a little bit more like your typical kind of chaos helmet of the new style. And then these are more traditional chaos Khorne helmets. They all look good. They all look really good. I like them. Everything so far looks really good. I am curious about those bits and what's going on with these right here, what they will be for. So let me know if you have any ideas down below in the comments. I always like to hear back from you guys. Appreciate all of the speculation, and a lot of times, it's impossible for me to stay up on everything. So I keep a pretty broad idea of what's going on, and then you guys fill in the blanks. Because obviously, if Khorne is your specialty or chaos or whatever, you're going to be a lot more up to date and have a lot better idea than somebody who just generally understands all these different games and whatnot. So I appreciate when you guys chime in with the details. I'm really curious though, is that still something that's available in the line? I wonder if they're making a comeback in plastic, or if it'll be like an obliterator kit with like a couple extra melee weapons in case you want to do the melee version, or a couple extra guns if you want to do the kind of gun / melee version. And then that'll come in plastic with some upgrades maybe as well. I think that's pretty realistic. I think they're missing out not having that up for sale, and not having like a detailed, decent kit available. So let me know what you guys think. But obviously, got to be a big, exciting year for Chaos. So this is your guys' year for sure. It looks like it's going to carry over into 2023 as well. So definitely a good time to be a Chaos player, whether it's 40k or Sigmar. And I have a feeling this will also be the year that I revisit the Chaos myself as well. Because a lot of these models are really pulling at the coattails, trying to pull me back in. So, well, that's it for today. If you enjoy the daily videos, reactions, reviews, and news, painting, modeling, conversion tutorials, make sure to like and subscribe for Warhammer 40,000, Kill Team, Necromunda, Age of Sigmar, and of course some Horus Heresy and warcry content as well. That's it for today. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and I'm out of here.